Alright lads, so if you are someone that has been keeping up to date with the attribute tree ground, doing this every single day since its incorporation almost a year at this point, you should now be able to unlock page 5, and with that we are going to go over all the stats that you can gain, all the skill buffs that you can gain, and what level are we now going to cap out at. Now, since it is relevant, I do want to speak about some good things they have been doing regarding the attribute tree grounds, and that is that lately we have been getting a boost campaign where, at least for a week, we do get more attribute tree crests. Honestly, I would love just to see this be a permanent addition, because the faster we get through these pages, the better in my opinion. I still have the opinion that it's a bit too slow. I would like to get at least a page a month. As of right now, though, it does take around 3 months to finish a page, but normally when you do the daily quest, you are getting 240 of each type. Now for the next week, you are getting upwards to 400, and then lately, one of the newest changes that we've only seen now is that the weekly rewards have been changed from 400 to 500, but again, that's only for this current week. Hopefully, this just becomes more consistent, and then eventually just permanent. Either way though, with that said, now that we have gone ahead and completed the 4th page, let's have a quick recap of all the stats that we are looking at. In case you are new to the game and don't know what this system is, essentially, every time you level up one node, you do gain 1 level, and that's instantly applied to your characters once they hit max level 200 max soul trees. So for me, for example, my characters are instantly going to get taken to 500. The number for the most part is kind of just for show. Like a new player, for example, might see your max level is 200 and you'll see my account or other people's accounts where they're level 500 and you might think your character's instantly underpowered. To a certain extent, they are, because you are getting quite a lot of stats here, but a lot of the stats do come from the first page. As the pages have gone by, the stats have lowered, so it's not like that crazy if you're a page or two behind. As long as you complete the first page, you are pretty much good. The biggest difference, though, is the max link slot level, and especially the max transcendence slot level. That's where most of the stats are gained here. But the level 500 right now is just for show, but it does look cool. I will be honest. And right now, the big question is going to be, what is the final level going to be? What is the end goal for this system? Because originally, as we were going page to page, we were getting 1 level of the Transcendence slot. We were getting 1 level for the Link slot. So the expectation was that once we get to page 10, we are going to be done. But page 4 only had a Transcendence slot. So now going into page 5, for example, it only does have a Link slot level. So page 10 doesn't seem to be the potential end. We have no idea when this is going to end, but you can expect it to end eventually once we do get max link slot level and max transcendence level. Transcendence level at level 20, link slot level at level 30. So we're getting there. It's just slowed down a bit because now we're only getting 1 of each transcendence link slot level per page, instead of having both in one page, for example. But again, if you have completed all 4 pages, you're now looking at level 500, 550 stamina, 380 attack, 380 SP, and 380 focus. Overall, some good stats. But again, the most important ones here are the max transcendence level, because that does give you a lot of extra stats that accessories also boost up. When it comes to the existing skills, these ones are quite not noticeable, to be honest, but we do have more resistances when it comes to the innate skills. Some of them, like Drain, for example, are now at 20, while the others are at level 10. I think the good thing, besides slow, which to be fair isn't that big of a deal, the existing skills do have 20 resistance percentage. So if you have completed the 4th page, what this does mean and why it is a good thing, for the context of Guild Quest, you now can give characters 200% resistance. Because if you do have the 5-star plus item of a food accessory that does, let's say, give weaken resistance, at 5-star plus, it does give that remaining 80% resistance, while also giving 10% attack and also spiritual pressure, so you're not losing out on that much damage, but also at the same time making old characters like Kenpachi, fully immune to that 200% resistance if you need it. But you can only do that right now for characters that have it as a skill. If they have it as an innate skill, as you'll see, right, I think if we use Candice, for example, she does not have the 200% resistance capabilities just yet, at least with 1 accessory. Otherwise, you have to give a bonus ability and also accessory or a link. So hopefully soon we can get those resistances. That way, those characters can be fully immune. And also, some characters are kind of being held back. Let's say Ichigo, for example, because he can't get that 200% resistance, as the element resistance he has is to every stat element. So I would really love to see in the foreseeable future, with the future pages, all stats element resistance plus 20%. That way, you can make the character fully immune to the status when they are up against, with only one 5-star evolved accessory. But yeah, these 20% resistances have been pretty good with that we're getting more crystal drop, more coin drop, little bit more bruiser, berserker, and more damage to status element afflicted enemies. We have the soul trait resistances at 5%, more crystal and jaw drop, more normal attack damage, strong attack damage, more damage to enemies afflicted by an element. A lot of them are at different numbers right now. Some are at 4%, some are at 3%, and some are even at 6%. So going into page number 5, what are some of the things you are going to see here? Well, the first one that we are seeing now is the stamina recovery skill. That is now going to go up by a few percentage. Most of the skill nodes here you are going to see is going to give damage to a status element. So I believe majority of the status elements are covered here through the skills. So again, just overall more damage. Nothing really noteworthy, but you know, it does add up over time. Then we also are now seeing more soul trait resistances through the soul traits. So I think again, most of them are going to now go up by 5% to have that 10% immunity. And then again, like already stated, we now do get an extra max link sort level. It's been a while since we've seen one of those. And hopefully going into page 6, pretty much, let's say 3 months from now, I really do hope we go back to having a link sort level and also transcendence sort level in one page. Because I think spreading it out like this is a bit too long. Because again, it just elongates the end goal of trying to finish this entire system. So with that in mind, if we have a look at the overall breakdown, what you are going to get in page number 5 is the following. If you do upgrade every single node, there are 50 nodes, so you are going to get to level 550. Remember, right now our max level is 500, so in the future it will be 550. An overall good number to have, to be honest. There have been some pages in the past that give 70 levels. It's an awkward number. I know I and many others like to keep our numbers at a good looking level. So right now, for the time being, I'm probably not going to upgrade any of this page number 5, for at least like maybe until the end. Because I just like the number 500. It looks cool, compared to being all my characters at level 510, for example. With that, again, we're also going to get 1 link sort level, and then we are also in the stats section getting 60 stamina, 10 defense, and then 30 attack, focus, and also spiritual pressure. Like I said, as the pages go by, the stats are getting lower, which is probably a good thing. That way, if you are a page or 2 behind, you're not missing out on that many stats. Like I said, most of the stats here do come from the first page, which I think is the best way to go about it. If each page was given 100 to 200 attack, spiritual pressure, focus, there would be a big difference between page 1 players and then page 5 players. For the soul traits, you're going to get 5% resistance on poison, paralysis, weaken, and also freeze. And then when it comes to the skills here, you are looking at 1% stamina recovery, so not really anything super big here. But we are getting more damage for slow, freeze, fire, lacerate, and also drain, while also now getting an increased chance for last-ditch survival. Again, small buffs here, specifically in the last-ditch survival section. If your character has 100% last-ditch built in, they're now going to have 105%. And that means once your character is defeated, they will revive at 100% chance. And the next time they're defeated, they're then going to have a 5% chance to revive again. Because that's how last-ditch does work. Surprisingly, though, we aren't seeing any innate skills in this particular page. Again, I would have liked to have seen some resistances here on the innate skills, because some characters right now can't get that 200% immunity if their status element resistance is through the innate skill. They still can, but they are going to have to rely on 2 items, a bonus ability and accessory, where I much prefer just having 1 accessory. That way I can focus on having good links and also good bonus abilities to make up for the damage that the character likely needs. In total, though, if my calculations are correct, I'm pretty sure they are, you are going to need 42,800 crests to finish each page. So if you are doing your daily attribute tree grounds every single day, you're looking at finishing page 5 in around 21 weeks. So that means as of me recording this video, we are going to finish page 5 around the time we get the 11th anniversary teaser trailer. Now, chances are this number isn't going to be 100% accurate, 21 weeks in particular. Like I said, we aren't taking into account any boosted period, so if we do continuously get the boosted attribute tree crest from the daily quest, from the weeklies like we are seeing right now, that is overall going to decrease the time it does take to finish a particular page. Using page 4 as an example, I believe it did say 17 weeks, but I think in total it took around 15 weeks, so we were like 2 weeks ahead of time. There is also the occasional pack, but they only did it once, where you can get 1,000 crests of each type. So if you are actively playing, or if you do buy those potential packs, you're looking at maybe 20, 17, 18 weeks to finish page 5, but it's not going to be that much of a difference, right? In total, most of us, it's going to take 20 weeks. So yeah, that's pretty much page 5 in a nutshell. For me right now, when it comes to the attribute tree system, I just like having good looking numbers for my characters. And overall, level 500 does look pretty cool. So, like I said, I'm probably going to stay on 500 for quite some time, maybe until I do finish the entire page. So again, 20 weeks from now. That unfortunately will mean that I'm going to miss out on a link shot level, but the link shot level isn't that big of a deal. As of right now, let me just quickly double check the stats. So we only get like 1% per link shot level, so not really that noticeable. The bigger noticeable increase though is the transcendence level, because you get extra stats. So for example, we can now get 700 SP in the future. That will eventually go up to 1000. And any accessory that you use does actually affect this stat here. So given that this page 5 is giving a link shot level, again, for me, no rush to go through it. I probably will wait till the end and do all pages in one go. But either way, with that said, that is the video for today. Overall, page 5 in a nutshell. Let me know how far you are into this system. Have you been keeping up? For me, it's been relatively easy. Soul tickets in this game are easy to come by. I have plenty, almost too much soul tickets to even spend at this point. And if I'm short for time where I don't really have much time to play Brave Souls in a particular day, being able to spend 30 in one go is actually pretty good. And usually it's the first thing I do in this game. So with that said, hope you liked the video. See you guys next time. Take care and peace.